Hey, are you waiting for the rates to decrease or the market to crash before you get back out there and look to buy a house? Let me explain why that may be a big mistake. All right, if you were out there looking for a house this summer, you know that it was super competitive. I mean, you'd show up to a house that you thought you'd like to buy, and there was a whole line of people there. And you knew that there was no way that you'd be able to negotiate on price, negotiate for inspections, or anything else. As in fact, you most likely were going to have to pay over the list price in order to even have a chance at it, right? Today's market's obviously a lot different. So why not take advantage of that? Why not take advantage that group of people that you were competing against are now virtually gone? And you're really now the only one out there that's taking a look at a house. Today, when you show up to a home, you're most likely going to be the only one there. Do you think that might give you an advantage when you start talking to the seller about making an offer? Do you think they're going to be a little bit more open-minded with the price and allowing you to actually do an inspection and negotiate some of the repairs that come up on that? Shoot, they may even be able to allow you to have a contingency on the sale of an existing home. That wasn't happening this summer. So take advantage of the fact that they don't have buyers banging down their door right now. And let me tell you why you need to do this now instead of later. And it relates to rates. Yes, rates have increased, but there's a couple points here that I really want to hammer home for you. Number one is incentives. So we recently negotiated with one of our buyers for the seller to pay down the interest rate for our clients, which are the buyers. So if they were to go in with a traditional rate, they were getting a rate, the quote was like 6.2%. So we negotiated for the seller to buy down that rate by 2 whole percentage points. So now they're locked in at 4.2%. Yes, they were negotiating and they were happy to do that because there wasn't a whole slew of people that were actually wanting to buy this home. They were kind of the only ones that were in the game. So why not use that to your advantage? So don't think that you're going to be locked in at these big higher rates. We can negotiate those things down. And there's an old saying in real estate that you marry the house and not the rate. So if you don't get that negotiating and you are in at a higher rate, when the rates do drop, you refinance. You get locked in at a lower rate. So you've got that option as well. The other thing is, once again, the lack of competition that you're going to have in the home puts you in a much better position now than you would have been like this summer. So also think about this. From what we understand, where rates are going to go is that this summer, most all the experts are projecting they're either going to plateau or they're possibly going to even come down a little bit. What do you think is going to happen when rates go from where they're at right now, which is about 6.2%, to even down into the fives, maybe 5.5%? Some people are even projecting that they're going to come down to 5.3. Do you think all the other buyers in the Atlanta market are going to jump back into the market and start taking a look? Most likely, yes, they are. So now all of a sudden you're competing against them again, like we were this summer. Maybe not to the extent of this summer, but yes, they're going to jump back in because they're going to be like, this is now the time. This is the opportunity to get in before they go up again, right? So why don't you go out there, take a look. You got two options. We can either negotiate for the sellers to buy down that rate. If they're not willing to do that, you marry the house, not the rate. You get in for the higher rate, and then down the road, you refinance that loan into a lower rate. But at least you got the house. So let's talk about the other thing that people are fearful of, and that is a market crash. Currently, there are 4 million units short of the demand that we have in the United States. Now, that's a national number. Locally, I can tell you that it mirrors pretty much the same thing. We have a growing population here. We have a population that does very well from an income standpoint. So we have a lot of demand, a lot of pent-up demand for housing in our local area. That's the North Atlanta market area. That's not going to go away. We've hit this temporary roadblock that we're in because there's a lot of fear out there right now. But I'm telling you, this thing's going to bust loose and the demand is going to be right back where it was. We do not see a huge reduction in prices. The economics behind real estate is totally different than it was back in the crash of '08 and '09. We are not going to be heading down that path again. We may be pulling back a little bit on values, but again, this is a long-term investment that you're making, not a short-term investment. So we don't see this big pullback. So if you are waiting for the market to crash, you have to ask yourself, what happens if it doesn't? How long are you willing to wait? Are you going to wait for the rates to come down and the prices are going to go back up and everybody jumps back into the market and looking for pricing? What do you think that's going to do to pricing, right? It's going to just push it right back up. So this is a great opportunity. If you are on the sidelines and you're waiting for the rates to drop or prices to drop, you really got to rethink of what you're doing. Buy now when the competition is low and you can get in. And then if the rates come back down, you can refinance back out of it. Listen, we are here to help you. If you want to get out there and start taking a look at houses again, talk a little bit more about what I just talked about, be more than happy to do so. We've got a team of agents that are ready and willing and able to help you out. So give us a call. Other than that, hope everybody's having a good one and to talk to you soon. Thanks.